All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Eagles podcast here from beautiful Kannapolis, North Carolina. We are here in our social media room, I guess we could call this room. I don't know what we'd call it, but we're here with some of our Winter One athletes. We'll go down the line here, let you guys introduce yourselves.
Michaela.
Am I first?
You're first. You're up first, yeah.
I'm Michaela, and I do cheer and track.
Okay, so I'm Carly, and I do basketball and I run track.
I'm Dominic, and I do wrestling.
Dom's voice just comes in booming right there at the end. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to hear that or not, but if you do, Dominic's just booming it up there. All right, so we've got a cheerleader and a track star. We got a basketball player and a track star, and we've got a wrestler. Dom, why aren't you doing anything else?
I don't like sports that aren't contact.
What about football?
I never got into football.
Oh, that's fair. I could see you not liking sports on our contact. Do you guys follow us on social media?
Yes.
Do you guys follow our Instagram page?
Yes.
I'm on the Instagram.
No.
Yeah.
If y'all
I do.
don't follow us on the Instagram, you should, because we have had a couple of people throw some questions our way that we'll get in here into a little bit. But are you guys nervous?
No.
No.
I'm
Good?
big dog.
What?
I'm big dog.
You're a big dog? All right, so let's start with you there, big dog Carly. So obviously you have changed a lot since the 6th grade.
Yes.
You've grown up a ton, and for that we are proud of you. But sports have clearly meant something to you, because I think I remember back in 6th grade, I didn't teach you or anything, but I always knew Carly wanted to play sports. What about sports has been the most fulfilling for you since you've been here in the last 2 years, 3 years?
I just really like to get into stuff and be active.
Okay. All right. Get into stuff and be active. I'm trying to get our questions pulled up here on the Instagram, so that way we're ready for them when we get there. So being active, Don, will kind of piggyback off of that one. Obviously, you said you like the contact sport. So what is it that drew you to wrestling?
I had tried out a bunch of other sports when I was younger, and I kind of lost interest for them real quick because they weren't like engaging. But wrestling, you're in there being active for the entire time you're playing, and it's something really strenuous. So
I would say wrestling's probably, if not the hardest sport that there is. It's way harder than football. It's way harder than basketball. Those two that I have played. I imagine it's harder than other sports, but I haven't played those, so I can't speak much to those. Michaela, let's throw it over to you with, I guess we'll start with cheer. Did you do fall cheer?
Yes.
So we have fall cheer, we have winter cheer, and you're running track. 3-sport athlete.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
So no days off. I don't know if you're watching, those of y'all that may not be familiar with how the middle school athletics work. We go from fall season to winter season in a matter of a couple of hours, sometimes it feels like. So I don't know that you really have any days off there, Michaela. So how do you juggle, maybe for these younger kids that may or may not be watching, how do you juggle not having a break throughout an entire school year with athletics, but also keeping your grades up, making sure your discipline's right, making sure you're doing what you need to do in between these four walls? That way you can go out there and participate and represent KMS well.
Well, with my schoolwork, it's kind of hard sometimes not having enough time to do a bunch of assignments and stuff. But I just, after practice, I make time to do those before doing other stuff, because school comes first, obviously. And yeah.
I would agree. You are a student athlete, right? You're a student athlete. Carly, how do you think balancing the school work versus the athlete work has changed for you, maybe since last year to this year?
This year, I take time off. If I have to miss practice, I tell my coach because I need the work. And also on game days, me and my teammates, we go into the cafeteria. Unless it's a home game, we go into the cafeteria and we have study hall. And we just listen to music and do our work.
I've walked past a couple of times, and I thought you guys were in there eating. And I saw Officer Armstrong. She was like, nah, that's study hall going on in there. Coach Graham is back with us. Coach Graham was here 10 years ago whenever I first started teaching here. 11 years ago. Coach Graham's a great guy. So how has it been having Coach Graham as a coach so far this year?
I think he's an awesome coach. He really pushes us to do the best that we can, whether it be physically and mentally. He's not like,
Do I need to hit a censor button? Do I have a censor ready?
no. He's a great coach. The rewards he gives us for like completing stuff and doing this and that, it's good.
I heard a pizza party was thrown out there at one point in time.
Yes,
Is that still a thing? Or
That-
did that happen? I left before. I left
yes.
before that happened.
that
maybe.
did happen. His wife brought in like 2-3 pizzas after practice.
Oh, this is absolutely killing me. If you're watching right now, I'm trying to keep these cords right. I did it wrong. Sorry. So yes, Coach Graham. Like I said, he coached here. We coached football together years and years ago, and we coached. We used to play basketball. We used to run pickups up here on the weekends, on the afternoons. So sorry to coach more over at Roberta Road. That's where Coach Graham was coaching. Kind of picked him back over, getting back here on the Kannapolis side. So it's nice to have that camaraderie, right, with your coach and with your fellow teammates. Michaela, maybe speak a little bit. You've been now with cheer for 2 seasons. You've been with Coach Henson for the last 2 years, basically, right?
Yeah.
How does Coach Henson go about pushing you guys to be your absolute best, whether it be on the court, on the field, in the classroom, wherever that may be?
So we have a lot of discipline at cheer. Like we have team bonding, so that brings us really close together. So we're all really tightly knit, and that helps us like work together as a team. And like if we don't get stunts and stuff, we have to sit down and talk about it and see like what's going on and like what messes it up. I have a really good relationship with Coach because I know her outside of school too, and I just feel like she's a really good coach.
So you can drop a shameless plug. How do you know Coach outside of school?
I go to church with her.
And y'all got like what do y'all call it? K students?
Yeah, K students. It's our youth group.
Yeah. And big shout out to Coach Henson's husband and Pastor Wheeler over there. They also throw a sponsorship to us every year, so that's really awesome. And that money goes straight back into you guys, and we're able to do stuff like this. I don't know if you guys know this, but all this stuff was donated to us, absolutely free of charge. So big shout out to everybody that donated this stuff, because this is actually some really, really nice professional quality equipment here. Carly, so you've been around Coach Armstrong, Officer Armstrong. What do y'all call her?
Officer Armstrong.
Okay, I can't call her Coach Armstrong. It just feels weird. Like I feel like Officer Armstrong ranks a little bit higher. I know she cares a lot about you guys. You can just see that how she carries herself around y'all. What does it mean to be able to go to practice every day and have somebody that you know wants you to be better as a player, but also loves you equally as a person?
We're usually excited to get to practice just to see her. And yeah.
That's not easy to do at the middle school level, to be excited to go to practice. Because sometimes, I mean, even I can remember being in high school.
Well, we're only excited when we know we ain't getting in trouble.
Do y'all get in trouble a lot?
Mostly.
Mostly. Oh.
And it's mostly during practice too.
It's mostly during practice. All right, so let's jump over to our Instagram questions. Basically, threw out a little quote or a post yesterday that asked some people to ask some questions. So I guess we'll start down at the end, Dom, and maybe just kind of work our way around, because this one I feel like applies to everybody. So we'll lead off with Dom, and then we'll bump back to Michaela. We'll go over to Carly. So Carly, you got a lot of time to think about this one. So Dom, what's it like being an athlete? This is from They Love Zaylee.
It's pretty awesome. It gives me stuff to do outside of school, past school, and with wrestling, I don't know if you guys have a conference or anything, but that takes it outside onto weekends and stuff. So that gives me stuff to do outside of school, not just on the weekdays, but on the weekends as well. So it gives a lot of entertainment and drive.
Sure. So wrestling works, and they do have a conference, but it's a little different than what you guys have. Mm-hmm. So you guys will have a conference tournament, because wrestling is a team sport, but it's also an individual sport. So they do have a conference tournament coming up, whereas basketball does not have a conference tournament. There's a lot of reasons for that, which I won't get into now because that's a long story. But nonetheless, yeah.
It's actually, I love it so much. I love the girls on the team, and like he said, like it gives us something to do outside of school, and I love cheer. Like I've always done it.
How long have you cheered for?
Well, I was a gymnast first, but like 4 years.
Where do you take gymnastics at? Or where did you? Or do you still take gymnastics?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cabarrus County Gymnastics.
Cabarrus County Gymnastics. They are purple. Is that right? They have the big van
Yeah.
that comes and picks people up. I see that van all the time. Carly, what's it like being an athlete?
It's actually fun because you can create bonds with people that you didn't know, and people that you didn't know, your bonds can get stronger.
Absolutely. I think some of my best friends through high school up and even till today, we were teammates together. Some of them were neighbors. We were naturally friends. Some of them I didn't know from, that light right there. And, we're still to this day pretty good friends. All right. Well, I guess we'll start right here with you, Michaela. Is it hard practicing the cheers and the stunts? Is it hard practicing the cheers and the stunts? And this is from Nisha Marie 07.
Well, not the cheers really because, well, she doesn't let us do stunts until we have all of our cheers finished. So that's like kind of hard sometimes because other people, like people learn differently.
Sure.
But the stunts are hard. It's hard working together, and if one person messes up, it messes up everything. So it's just difficult sometimes.
Dom, do you know what a stunt is?
I'd like to say I do, but
See, I was thinking there's probably a lot of people that don't know what a stunt is, and I had no clue what a stunt was at one point in time. I do now because I'm around it all the time. So, Michaela, give us an example. What is a stunt? When we say stunt, I know what it means. It probably means something completely different in wrestling. It might mean something completely different in football. So, what is a cheer stunt? What does that involve?
It involves 5 or 4 people. You have a back spot, 2 bases, a flyer, and a front, and it's just creating like you lift them up and you can do cheers while you're flying, and you can do flips, and you can also do stretches and toe touches and stuff.
while you were explaining that, you used 3 other words. I had no idea what they meant.
I was going to say back spot, front spot.
Front spot. Yeah, I don't know.
So go ahead, Carly. Do you know what a stunt is? Dom was just like right here, like really focused in. So I just went straight to him because I'm not gonna lie, this line right here really bothers me. So I just sort of followed it along. I was like, all right, let's see what Dom knows. So a stunt is when you put somebody up in the air, whether you're holding them or maybe tossing them up. Okay. So and then you got a back spot, which is what?
In the back.
Yeah, in the back
There
of the
we go.
stunt.
Right. It's just you spot them right from the back, right? And a front spot, same concept. And so that way, if that boy or girl falls forward or backwards,
It's usually
we
a
catch 'em.
circle. It's usually a circle.
Yeah, it's like 2 bases, a back, a front, and then the flyer's in the middle. So it all goes together.
Got you. Lost files of Nazi, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. I might be saying that wrong. My bad if I am. Carly, this is directly to you, I believe. How does it feel to play basketball? From the moment you get up in the morning, you know it's a game day. Like yesterday, y'all had a game day, right?
Yeah.
Y'all won yesterday?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so how does it feel? You walk in the building, it's game day, basketball, set the stage, go through your day, school day ends. Now it's time to kind of lock in, get a little bit more focused. How does that feel? What's it feel like to play?
I actually enjoy it because I just like to move around. Like I can't stay still.
You can't stay still, Carly?
No.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. I just like to move around a lot.
So when you get out in front of a gym and you got cheerleaders cheering, you got the band playing, you've got the crowd cheering, friends are there, family may be there. And I think we talked a little bit before. Who came to watch you yesterday?
My brother.
Your brother came to watch you play. What does it feel like to be able to step out in front of a crowd like that with people that you may not know, people that you love, people that you know their face? How does that feel to be able to step into that kind of environment?
It actually gives me confidence.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that would make nervous. I may throw that one right straight to Dom because your sport's a lot more different in terms of you still have the crowd there, but with Carly's got 9 other people on the floor with her.
Just me and that other guy on the
It's
mat.
you and the other dude right there in the middle of the mat. That's it.
It's my first year that I wrestled back at Northwest. I had gotten out on the mat a couple of times, and I was nervous. That's honestly a main reason why I picked going into wrestling, because I knew not as many people that attended, like students, actually went to the wrestling games.
Oh, so you said, all right, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to take the sport where not as many people go to.
Yeah, so if I mess up, they can't see me mess up.
That's fair. All right.
But yeah, after being out on the mat so much, it's just a bunch of old people watching you, so it doesn't really matter.
Dom,
They're probably watching
they
this.
might be watching this, man. Nah, I know what you're saying. It's you're out there. It doesn't matter who's there watching because at that point in time, it's you and whoever's in that circle. It's halftime.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I messed the music up. I got to restart it because I do that a lot. Y'all have just put in a new stunt. Hush, okay? Hush. I get nervous. Y'all just put in a new stunt, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so did y'all perform it yesterday? I
Yeah.
wasn't here. Miss Turtleau, she was running the show for me. So what's it like to be able to step out knowing y'all practiced something for so long? You've had that discipline of, hey, get the cheer right, then we'll get the stunt down. Now we're going to throw it out in front of all the people. You got everybody in the gym, cameras up, everybody's like this.
Yeah, it's actually really scary because we mess it up at practice a lot too. But we know our coach wouldn't make us do it if we didn't know how. So we just have to know that we can do it. But it's
Believe in yourself.
It's really fun. I love performing with all my friends. Yeah.
That's good. I love that you said, coach isn't going to put you in a position where you don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's what practice is for. I know y'all probably installed plays at practice, or y'all went over different moves at practice. You have no clue what you're doing, right? But coach doesn't put you out there and start calling that play or that stun or whatever until you know exactly what you're doing. Carly, we'll bump over to you, and this one kind of take around a circle too. This is from the Only Lay One.
Oh God,
Who is that?
Malaya.
That's okay,
The
Malaya.
one,
We'll
the
figure
one
it out.
from A.L. Brown that just was in 8th grade last year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so she said when you had your first game, so think about back to the first game, first competition, first meet, first match. Were you nervous?
Yes, because that was my first year ever playing basketball for a team, and I didn't have that much experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you, Dom? First wrestling match over there at Northwest.
I did horribly.
I love that you're so honest. Like, hey, I want to do this sport because not a lot of people come to it. First match was terrible. Sorry, go ahead.
I was put on my back and the match ended because I was pinned in the first 30 seconds of the match.
You don't forget that, do you?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of like the chip on the shoulder. Like every time you go, I am not letting that happen to me again.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, that happens. That happens sometimes. Michaela, what about you? First track meet, first time cheering. You nervous?
Not really.
On the surface, did you look calm and ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't really get that nervous about things until they're over. Then I'm thinking about did I do this wrong or
Oh, so you get caught up in the moment.
Well, I don't really think about it while I'm doing it or before, but
Right. So
After.
while it's happening, you're going. Then once you finish, you're like, wait a second, did I do that right?
yeah, because I can't really think about that because I have to remember my counts and remember where to go.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of how I get, even with this podcast. Like right now, I'm second guessing myself. Did I even turn that camera on? Even though I saw the red light flashing. Hopefully I did. All right, let's Dom, let's go back to you because I think this is actually from your teammate, Colby. What pushes you as a wrestler to perform to the best of your ability? And you can't say getting pinned within the first 30 seconds of your first match. You've already used that answer.
Last year was my first year, and I had made it to conference. I had placed 4th place, and ever since, I've really been gunning to make it to first place in my weight class.
Mm-hmm.
So just having that in the back of my head that if I do good here, it pushes up here for me to be better over here.
Right.
in
So
conference.
last year was your first year, right?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So last year was when you got pinned in the first 30 seconds.
Thank you
that-
for bringing it up again. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just know. Well, I say that to say this: your first match, you get pinned in the first 30 seconds. You end up fourth in the conference, so you're one pin away, or you're one win away from third overall out of every kid in your weight class of every school in the conference. So that's 10 schools. So that's a long progression.
Yeah.
Like that's coming a long way in a very short amount of time, because our seasons here are 8 weeks. Maybe 9 if you include that first week of practice. So that's awesome. That's something I think you should definitely keep your head up about. Let's bump back over to Carly for this one. This is from Vane Samal. Oops, maybe I'm saying that wrong. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. What's the most difficult part about your sport? And Dom, I'm gonna end with you on this one. We'll go Carly to Michaela to Dom. What's the most difficult sport? Wow. What is the most difficult part about your sport that a lot of people overlook, or that people may not think about? They just go see out there and running up and down the floor and playing defense and shooting layups.
Not making open layups.
Not making an open layup.
Yeah, most of the time.
It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes.
What's worse, not making a wide open layup or airballing a free throw?
Airball on the free throw.
100%. I've done both, just for the record. How about you, Michaela? The hardest part that a lot of people may not see.
Being scared to drop stunts in front of people or at practice, because we run for it and it's scary. Like, we don't want to hurt like the flyer or the bases or anything. And in front of people, it's embarrassing too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that embarrassment factor. Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Been there, done that. Dom, the hardest part about your sport that most people may not understand or realize.
6 minutes of having to fight someone. Looks hard, is hard. It's you have to have good stamina for it.
It's a lot longer than what people think. They hear, oh, it's 3 rounds. It's all of 6 minutes.
Mhm.
It's a lot. That 6 minutes takes a long time, right? I know. Again, I've never wrestled. My brother wrestled he wrestled in middle school, but Miss Osborne's calling me. My person must be here. I have a meeting at 1:00. But it's really hard for outside looking in, right, to understand just how long that 6 minutes is. We had a couple more of these questions, and then we'll start to wrap it up here. If I can get back over here to the Instagram. Let's see. Is practicing? Oh, is it hard? We've already done that one, right? We've already done. I think. Oh, maybe we hit them all. We did hit them all, y'all.
Hey.
Nice job. There wasn't too awful many. Ikir says, nah. So Ikir does. Akir,
He does not want any questions.
He does not have any questions. So just in case you're wondering, Akir, if you're watching this, thanks for telling us you do not have any questions. We appreciate that. So y'all say let's wrap it up here at the end. This last segment, I like to offer you guys maybe an opportunity to tell somebody that's watching some kind of advice. There may be a current student athlete watching. There may be a potential future student athlete watching. And Michaela, we'll start with you. What is one piece of advice that you would offer up to somebody, maybe wanting to try out, maybe a little nervous to try out for a sport? Just some kind of piece of advice you'd offer to a potential student athlete.
If you're like at practice or you're like at a game or something and you're too tired, you don't want to do it, you're scared, do it scared, do it tired, because there's so many other people like waiting for your opportunity, but you have that opportunity. So like take it to your full advantage and do it tired, do it scared, do it like, yeah.
Did you read that in a book somewhere?
No.
That might be the title of this podcast. Do it tired. I like that. Can I steal that?
Yeah.
Mental note real quick. Carly, piece of advice you'd give maybe a potential future athlete wanting to try out for a sport.
Really, just keep going. Like if you start something, just try to finish it at least.
Just keep going. That's been a very common piece of advice
Yeah.
given. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There's a podcast that I listen to that's one of the things they talk about. Keep going. Just keep going. Dom, piece of advice you'd offer up to somebody watching, listening.
If you're thinking about joining, I really think you should because you can only get beat up so many times until you start winning. Yeah.
That's classic. I love that. All right, so you can only get beat up so many times before you start winning. That's awesome. I really appreciate you guys jumping on. Y'all got to get out of class for a little bit today, so that's fun stuff. But we're gonna wrap it up here. So Michaela, Carly, Dom, thank you guys for your time. We appreciate what you guys do, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.